Welcome to more top deck profiles for everybody today. So we have what appears to be, we have Mermail, check, which is water, and we have Red Eyes, which just makes the Dragoon post-end combo. So here's some love to Red Eyes Dragoon Water. So we have triple copies of Asher Blossom, enjoy spring, triple copies of Dragoons, because having this be the best searcher in our deck is good. One copy of the heavy, or two heavy infantry. One Arborea as an extender. I don't think I've seen this being used in water yet, but I like this idea. Triple Deep Sea Diva, but of course. Triple copies of Minstrel for the hand ripping. One copy of Deskbot 001. One Jet Synchron. Two copies of Lapis Dragon. Actually interesting, because I've seen most builds only opting to play one of this, which is interesting. One copy of Lion. One copy of the Abyssdine. One Abyss Spike. Triple copies of Abyssdeuce. One copy of Mullen Glacia, triple copies of Neptibus, and then we're playing Multi-Threader. So this card's name becomes Cyframe Driver while it is in the hand or graveyard. Okay? If a Cyframe card or card you control will be destroyed by battle card effect, you can discard this card instead. If a Cyframe Tuner is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, except during damage step, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So interesting enough, they're using this in combination with Gamma, which I'm not quite sure they know how this works, but okay. We have one Dark Magician, one Red Eyes, and then we have triple copies Called by the Grave, two copies of Aria, one copy of Emergency Teleport, one for one, of course, one Red Eyes Fusion, and two copies of Yield Twin Twister here, wrapping up the interesting water list here. But like I said, interesting interaction though with this. I'm pretty sure this should be just driver though, but okay. What do I know? One Anaconda, one Auroradon, one Linkuriboh, one Unicorn with one Phoenix, pretty standard. Halifybrax Borreload, True King, Mr. Vermilion Dragon Mech, little copy of our Ravenous, Herald, Garden Rose Maiden Coral Dragon, Borreload Savage, and the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Side deck here, one Pankratops, triple Effect Veiler, triple Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Dark Ruler Hadoken, triple Forbidden Chalice with one Twin Twister, and one Red Reboot, wrapping up water. Interesting. Like I said, this is the first real time I've seen water do anything in a couple months, actually. Next up is Traptrix. Now, same thing here. Traptrix has been doing stuff every so often. We have a few good players in the community that love to push this deck. But I do like what this deck is supposed to do. Also, I'm pretty sure that, 100% I just checked. This is supposed to be driver. Alright, easy peasy. Alright, so we have triple copies of Iron Dragon Tiamaton, two copies of Nibiru, triple copies of Parallel Exceed. I actually like this in this deck. Having this be an extender for the deck is actually insane. Actually gives you something of use off of Sarah's Link Arrow, which is very nice. We have one Atrax, one Dionea, triple copies of Dionea, one copy of Genslia. I'm not exact. I still don't like this card. I feel like they underestimated her power scaling for what they wanted her to do, but I mean, she's a one of. With triple copies of Traptrix Mantis, triple copies of Myra Melio, and one copy of the Nepenthes. Our spells, the one double or nothing, that's all. Traps, two Bottomless Trapple, two Compulse, two copies of Floodgate Trapple, two copies of the Heavy Storm Duster, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, triple copies of the Shade Brigadane, two copies of Time Space Trapple, one Torrential Tribute, and triple copies of Traptrix, wrapping up your main deck, extra deck. But of course, we have triple copies of Sarah. Interesting enough, we also have one Pentastag. I guess that this is to make sure that Utopia double go burr, right? We have one Laurel Sword, one Rafflesia, one Alamoras, one Redoer, one Giant Magnus, one copy Utopia Lightning, one Utopia Double, one Utopia, one copy of the Dreadnought Ship, one Exciton, and one Abyss Dweller. Side deck here we have two copies of Lancia, triple copies of DDE Crow, one Appointer, triple copies of Evenly Matched, one copy of Imperial Order, two copies of Lost Wind, two copies of Titan Cider, and one copy of Waking the Dragon. So this is our Waking the Dragon target. Or, you know, we can rank up into it through Fred here, right? One rank 10 or higher by using this card as material. So we actually just rank up into Biggie here. Okay, so that's pretty cool, I guess. I think we'd have a better Waking the Dragon target, but okay. So that wraps up our Traptrix list for everybody. Next up, we have... Ooh, this is Sky Striker maining turtles. Okay, interesting little inclusion of things here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring, one copy of Pankratops. If you didn't think Pankratops was insane, oh my gosh, you were sadly misinformed. Two copies of Effect Veiler, triple copies of Gamma Seal, but of course. 1, 2, 3 copies of Gamma, triple copies of Ray, 2 copies of Rose, and 1 copy of the Cyframe Driver. Spells, 2 Cosmics. 2 seems to be, honestly, I think the best number present in the metagame. 1 copy of Pot of Avarice, 1 Rhoda, 2 copies of Area Zero, 2 copies of Afterburners, 1 copy of Jamming Waves, 1 Eagle Booster, 1 Hornet Drones, triple copies of the Shark Cannon, 2 copies of Widow Anchor, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Hercules Base, been a hot minute since I've seen this in play too, 1 Terraforming, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. Extra deck, of course, we have 1 Zeke, this never changes, triple copies of Shizuku, 1 Kaina, triple Kagari, then we're playing 2 copies of Hayate. Yeah, Hayate's number's been pretty much reduced. I feel like this is just more of a consistency buffer at this point in time. Card's not as crazy as it once used to be, and this is probably just the best approach. 1 Celine, 1 Phoenix, 1 Hida, 1 Halifibrex, and 1 copy of the Access Code Talker, because we climb into this, climb into this, climb into this. Easy peasy. Side deck here we have triple copies of Space Rockman, 1 copy of Mr. Starving Venom, 1 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Jamming Waves. Man, we are very happy on the back row hate. Triple copies of Super Poly to feed our big dragon. Triple copies of Evenly Smashed, and 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster. Wrapping up an interesting take on Sky Striker. Like I said, I like what this is trying to do in terms of today's modern standard of metagame. Maybe Kaiju's is the best correct method to manage this deck. I don't know, we'll see. And then we have, this was the PPG top cut out of this past weekend for Infernoble Knights. Now, 41, by the way, which I think is fine. All right, don't get me wrong. I like the differences in numbers and things that players try out here. So, different strokes for different folks. We have 2 copies of Fireflint Lady, triple copies of Gearfried, triple copies of Renaud, 2 copies of Ogier, triple copies of Oliver, 1 copy of Jet Synchron, 1 copy of Olion, triple copies of Twinkle Toes and the Dolphin Dude, 1 copy of Gimba, with triple copies of Red Lair. Pretty much, I think all builds have pretty much come to the point that Alstafo is bad, and that they're not opting to play them. Alright, so that's just something I want to point out here. We have triple copies of Durando, triple copies of Dark Ruler No More, 1 copy of the Phoenix Blade, triple copies of Heritage of the Chalice, 1 Living Fossil Man, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Rhoda, 1 Smoke Grenade of the Thief, with triple copies of 3 Tactical Talents, and 1 copy of the Shade Brigadane, wrapping up the main deck. Extra deck, Shenanigans with Auroradon, 1 Link Cross, 2 copies of Isolde, 1 copy of the Halifibrex with 1 access code, Hand Looping Shenanigans, Tatsunoko, more Hand Looping Shenanigans, 1 copy of Martial Metal, 1 Charles, 1 copy of Roland, 1 Herald, 1 Coral Dragon, and 1 Borreload Savage Dragon to put those big negates on the field. Let's see here. Side deck, we have 1 Pankratops. There's the triple Gamma. 1 copy of Driver. Triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone. Triple copies of the Lightning Storm. Triple copies of Appointer of the Red Lotus. And 1 copy of Red Reboot, wrapping up your chunk of deck profiles for this. A lot of stuff still coming out. A lot of players testing some interesting variants on things. And I'm a really big fan of looking and seeing how this diversity is really going out there. So guys, what do you think? Please leave a comment down there. Tell me what you guys think about these lists. And well, guys, I'm out.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well,
I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCall40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCall40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcallgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.